What's up, and welcome back to the Connect podcast. This is episode 21 again.
Is it 27?
It's
I thought it was 29.
Well, we did a 21, but I think it's no longer recent enough, so we're just doing it again. And we have Andre on the podcast today.
Welcome.
How's it feel to be on a podcast? When's the last time you did a podcast?
I think the last time we did a podcast was with Hernan.
Oh yeah,
Hernan
Business
CS,
Bros.
Business Bros.
We gotta look back and see.
Rest in
that.
peace.
That'll be funny. No, they're still going.
I know, I'm just playing.
Yeah, what a year it's been. It's great to have you join us on the podcast.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Have you been watching any of them?
Yeah, I watched all of them, dude. You look buff in all of them. 1, 2. I love that it's creating an opportunity to just connect with people who, one, are running their own businesses, but two, just allowing to voice, their experience and their struggles and what they're going through too. Because as realtors, we know, well, I know for myself far too well what it's like to meet expectations, but to also miss them as well.
Personally, I really enjoyed doing the podcast. I don't know if it's like more of an outlet, but having the guests on is super awesome because you get to learn more about them and like their stories. But just being on here and having open conversations with these guys, mostly Javi and Carlos, because they've been my sidekicks on this project. I hope that we could grow it going into 2025 and continue it on. Gain more listeners. I think that will help us, right? Like people that actually watch it.
Yeah.
But I think that all comes with
giving each other views.
that all comes with substance, right? Like making sure that we have good guests on. People actually that book with us to be our guests show up, and how we could interact with our viewers, I guess. Maybe we should start doing like a podcast giveaway. Like if you watch the podcast, comment on it, and then we're gonna be giving away like a Starbucks gift card every week or something.
Well, maybe they have to listen to keywords throughout the whole podcast. Yeah. That way that
and then they have to text the
cipher. Yeah.
But like it has to be worth it at that point, right? Like people are not just gonna watch the podcast for a $25 gift card at that point.
I mean, if it's from
we're gonna go big.
Timu.
We're gonna start.
I would tune in.
We're gonna start giving out TVs for our podcast listeners. So we're gonna have
that'd be a good idea.
The sickest podcast giveaways.
So do we get to watch
like
it
Oprah?
Too?
You get a TV. Yeah. Let us know how we could be more interactive and what will make you watch the podcast, right? I think ultimately, like we're gonna do it no matter what. But if we could have more people enjoy it, then better, right? What we're gonna talk about today is a year in review. 2024 is coming to an end. Today is December 30th, 2024. So we have one more day left, and then set us up for success for the future. What does 2025 look like? For me, 2024 was a year of growth. And we did a lot of different things. We talked about this earlier in our meeting, but I completed 2 bulk sales, almost completed 2 bulk sales. What a bulk sale is a business sale that includes licensing, taxes, releases from state. So a lot to learn in that business. And I'm not afraid of it anymore. So if you have a business you want to sell, please reach out. We'll help you get it done. But not only will we help you get it done, we'll complete it. So we completed one of those with the bar, and that had an ABC license as well. So that was a big accomplishment. And then we started the podcast. It's been a learning experience, and we're still trying to grow this. So remember to subscribe, comment, like. We gotta remember to say that in every video now. And we're still, figuring it out. The audio, we're gonna get some more mics for more guests. Video, we're gonna continue to get better at that. But it's all growth, and I'm excited about the podcast. I think that's one of my most excited ventures going into the new year.
Yeah, I feel like you've been wanting to do a podcast since what, like 6th grade?
No. Honestly, I've never wanted to do a podcast. Even when
No?
we went on the podcast, I was like, I don't know, it's not for me. And then what got me back into wanting to do it is like I actually listened to podcasts. So like when I go back and I listen to it, I'm like, oh, that was pretty good. Like it's
Yeah.
cool. Like you could learn something from something that we talked about or something. And I think Carlos was a big reason for that because, he brought his young energy into here with the podcast watching on the TV.
That's what all the kids are doing nowadays.
How's your podcast watching been?
Good. I honestly I haven't been listening to a lot of podcasts recently, a lot of music mainly, but
Hey, what's the new track?
Throw some D's on that.
I'm waiting for Bad Bunny to drop his album. There's like 17 songs on it, but I think for like listening to podcasts, I think I would listen to them so much to where I feel like I stopped paying attention to it, so I wasn't really retaining much information. So I feel like I had to dial it back because it was just like I'm just being fed information all the time, every time, to where I'm not gonna pick up everything. So I think just being more meaningful about it is a little bit better for me.
I think you have to find ones that definitely like you have to find ones that are like more focused into what you're trying to learn and what you're talking about, which is why I like ours, or at least what ours can be, because it's gonna be very like community centric, where you could learn more about the businesses in our community. But
I think too, also a big part of that is just whatever it is that you're listening to or watching and listening. You want to make sure that you're in a setting or in a place that you can be like receptive of that. Because it's like having a conversation with somebody, and if you're expressing something and they're not receptacle or receiving that, then you're just like, it's almost like you're just talking to a wall. Mm-hmm. So the same could be said if you're receiving information and you're not open or really trying to digest what information they're sharing with you, then you're just at that point you're just paying electricity.
I think it's big coming down to like what you're listening to and what the topic is, because for example, I know you listen to Joe Rogan, and there's some Joe Rogan I'm like, what the heck is this guy talking about? Like, why am I wasting my mental like, no, he just goes down like these crazy topics with people that you've never heard about, right? Like, unless you're like into those things, you're just opening up like a can of worms for yourself, kind of, unless you like Carlos said, just to like tune it out, right? So definitely have to be like into listening to what we're talking about, which is why we want to have guests like from our community on the podcast.
I think that's huge because there's really no like outlet like that for local people,
But
there's nowhere you can go and see like, I really want to know what was his name, Emo Brown. I really want to know what Emo Brown is up to. There's not really. Yeah,
well, I think he is an outlier. I think he does a really good podcast and has on some good local guests. I like his podcast. I listen to it a lot. So I think if we could be on the same level or continue to grow off of that and introduce them a little bit more real estate.
Yeah.
I think we're on the right track, right? Especially being like in touch with the real estate market, because there's nothing that in San Diego, at least, where you listen to and they're like telling you, hey, I was out showing homes and it's it's wild out there, or the market is completely dried up and flat. And talking about the market, I actually saw a report that home sales spiked over the last week, like 3x what they would been like the last.
I don't, generally speaking, and I can only say this because I have that house on the market. I still have it on the market, but it's in contract. I've had at least 20 showing requests
this week
since you've been in escrow.
Since I've been in escrow for the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, so definitely has like there's a Russell has his listing and it's getting like 3 showings a day. Yeah. So there's definitely people out looking for homes right now, and I think it goes back to like what we've been preaching is you could steal a deal in this market, right? And people are wising up to that, and I think they're getting smart, educated people. They always get a head start on things, right? Like they're they're setting themselves up for success, right? Knowing that the market after New Year's is going to get busy, like you've already seen that happen.
And there
right?
may be a chance. I don't ever like to really make things political, but we know that beginning of the new year is when the new administration starts.
Mhm.
There's going to be some big changes coming, and just if you are somebody who's not political or somebody who's just like I don't look into that, I feel like at the very least, the most basic common knowledge individual will know, hey, when a new administration comes on, there's a good chance that the market's gonna improve.
Well,
Just for the sake of
yeah, we talked about that before. Actually, what is it like? The market actually increases by 3 to 5% after every election cycle.
Yeah.
Right. So, home prices are gonna go up.
Right.
It's just a matter of when the buyers get out there and start buying them. And if we're seeing it this last week already, a spike in, showing requests,
that
or a
means
spike.
people are anticipating that it's gonna.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. Like we're gonna see more buyers out come spring. It always happens like that, especially in San Diego. We have these cold winter months where things slow down, and I think that's just every real estate cycle. I can't talk for other cities, but like we all know, spring comes, people come out buying houses again, right? And so, I purposely set myself up for success in this area where I limited my business right now by saying, hey, look, right now is not the best time to list your home, right? To a few of my clients, wait till the spring. Right?
Yeah.
So come spring, we're gonna have some listings, and everything's gonna be a lot more busy. And I guess people are already seeing it, right? So, if
Yeah,
you
I
have
think-
a
I think
listing
it's
and you
gonna be-
want to sell it, reach out to us, get prepared, right? Let's make a plan for your situation. I know the deal that you have in escrow. Originally, you went into for less, right? And then put it back on the market.
Yeah, and then we got an offer for 15,000 more than
15,000 more, and that's
and
going
it
smoothly.
appraised.
More over asking or more than the
Over
previous
asking.
offer?
So the previous offer was 877. We were listed at 875, and then we fell out because the buyers got cold feet, and now we're in contract at 890, and we appraised at 890. So the good thing is that if you're selling your property in a time where there's nobody really selling their properties, you know that there's a chance that you're probably going to have a buyer that understands where they are in the market, where you are in the market, and that there's a possibility that they're going to get asked for some credits, they're going to ask for some repairs, but your agent or ourselves, any of us will tell you, look, if you list now, be prepared for these things so you're managing expectations. And that's why, anytime I speak with a realtor who's looking to make an offer, I suggest, hey, this is what they want to net. If you need credits, cool. But let's make sure that my client nets this. And if we set that expectation, if we have any concerns that maybe, hey, do we know if it's going to appraise that amount, then we hash it out then. We do what we need to do. And most commonly for me, at least, I just say, look, if it doesn't appraise, then my client, either your client's going to have to forego their credit request, or maybe they're going to have to come and cover the difference in cash. But, again, each agent is different from the next. So some might say, no way, do you know what kind of market this is? I do, yes. But we also have 10 other people who are trying to get into this house right now. So it's just a matter of setting expectations, managing them, and then just straight up communication.
Yeah. I mean, communication is key on any deal, right? That's why it's important to, pick up the phone and call and have those conversations with the other agent. And not only that, but you're building a relationship with the agent at the same time you have to work together, right? It's crazy talking about that because I saw another report that we're down to like 25% of the agents that started in 2021. Like literally it was like 400,000 agents to like under 100,000 agents.
I know. I didn't read it. I didn't see any reports, but I saw a meme. It's the Wolf of Wall Street. Wolf of Wall Street showed 2021 agents on the yacht. Remember that scene on the yacht? Party? Yeah, getting lit, having bottles, and then 2024 they're going through that storm. The ship sinks. I'm like,
people are flying off left and right.
Yeah, but that's the reality of the beast. I think people hopped on thinking like, hey, real estate's gonna be easy and smooth, and this is what it's gonna be like forever.
Yeah, and they're getting a taste of reality right now, right?
Yeah.
It's like
I know one agent. I won't reference his name, but he got his license I think around 2020 or 2021, and he's not renewing his this year.
really.
Yeah, so it's just you know, to each his own, right? But I think that is just something for our clients, people who are tuning in, to really just, when you're hiring an agent, you know, make sure you're hiring an agent that this is what their livelihood is, this is what their expertise is in, this is what they do for a living. Because you do have occasionally some agents that are part-time agents, right? We've all been there before. We've all started out one way or another, but that's the difference between having a seasoned vet versus somebody who's just getting their feet wet and, you know, starts
Trying to
panic.
make some money real quick.
Quick money, right?
Quick money in and out.
So
And I think as the sales go up again, we're gonna see more agents come back.
right.
It could be, you know, just a part-time fall off, but it's definitely not a business for the weak-hearted or weak-minded, right? Like we gotta grind through the hard times, and that's what makes us live in the lavish times, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, look at me, man. I look like I'm just came out of Castaway right now.
We got him off the island, guys.
Yeah,
we got him back.
Listen.
We sent a boat for him. That's hilarious. Going back to expectations and this year, I would say, you know, I didn't meet all my expectations of the year. I did end up having a good year in terms of numbers and like sales. But my biggest, I think, level success meter lies upon you guys, right? And I want all of the agents here at Connect to succeed and be top producers. And in a time when, you know, sales are at a second year all time low, it's hard for everybody to be a top producer, right? So I really kicked myself in the butt this year because I want everybody here, I want all my agents to be producing at a high level and what they want. And I mean, that's just coming out of my mouth. I don't know how you guys feel about how you guys did, but maybe shed your thoughts on, you know, what you guys learned this year and how you think you did. Anybody want to start?
Yeah, definitely didn't do as well as expected, but you know, had some learning experiences along the way throughout the year too. You know, sold 2 duplexes this year, which was, you know, a first. Sold some land, a couple single family houses, a couple condos. But still, you know, fell.
For sale by owner? No, not for sale by owner.
No, not this year. But regardless, still fell
Off market. You had a couple off market.
Off market, yeah. You know,
Investments,
investments, yeah.
flips,
Got some,
mess with the city.
yeah, yeah. It
A little bit of everything.
Learning experience, yeah. Now that you're bringing it up, and I'm looking back on it a bit, but yeah, definitely fell really short of what I expected of myself. You know, it's a lot to think about when setting goals for next year for me, personally.
Well, that's a good thing. Like, I think it shouldn't be easy, right? If it's easy, I don't think they're scary enough, right? Like, it's not big enough. So the fact that, you know, you're going to have to really put some thought into it is pretty cool, needless to say. Even though it doesn't sound fun, I don't know. Maybe sometimes I'm the only one that's dreading it, but it's not the one that, I don't think it's the act of doing it per se that's dreading it. It's always, and this is what I mentioned earlier, was the fear of setting an expectation and not reaching it, right? But it's almost like that saying, is it better to have loved and lost, or better to have not loved at all, right? And I think for me, just transitioning to goals, I definitely did not hit the mark, hit what I had expected, but I did learn a lot too, you know, and I think a big part of this business, in terms of being a realtor, in terms of being an agent and an advisor or consultant, whatever you want to label us as, I think it's just crucial that we continue to to deposit into the relationships that we have, whether it be business, personal. I don't even know what other relationships you could have aside from business and personal, right? But those are important, and when you deposit your time and effort and make the efforts, they're only going to grow. So I think.
Also, I think it's big that we keep adjusting, right, and learning new things, right? If you're not, you know, learning how to work with an investor, if you're not learning how to do some off market deals, if you're not learning how to sell land, right? Like these are all things that you're adding to your utility knife toolkit, right? Now you're more versed. You have that education. You're more. We talked about like fear and experience, right? Like experience is the other side of fear. You're more likely to win when you have that experience behind your belt or under your belt. Like now that we could do, you already do property management, right? Like you have that tool to add to your clients, right? Yeah. Now that you know how to sell land, or you know how to deal with the city in terms of like code violations. Yeah. Like this is all things that agents don't learn until their 5th, 10th year in the business a lot of times, right? And like learning about non-QM loans on your first deal is
fun.
Is very impressive, right? Like I didn't even know what a non-QM loan was. So yeah, you know, and now you're in escrow with not one but 2 land sales. So it's just like I say that this year was a year of growth. Sometimes you have to be tested, like Andre said, to find out where you need to go, or you know, we're purposely put in these situations to grow. Right. Yeah. We're not just put there because, you know, if you go away, yeah, right? Like, and some people are, right? Some people are tested, so they give up.
Right? That's where I think the breakthrough is where you feel like giving up is where you got to keep going, no matter what, because
you're almost there. Like
you're almost there.
And then it's crazy because Michael's not here today, but he posted something on his story yesterday about like you're 1 year away from changing the rest of your life, but in a very smaller scale, you're one connection, you're one person away from changing your entire life. You can
meet an investor tonight, and then that investor likes you, you click it, and then he's gonna give you all his deals.
Exactly. Right. It's crazy. So like you never know in this business how close you are to the next level, right? And leveling up it all depends on the effort, the time, the connections that you make and putting it into your business. Carlos?
My goals?
How'd you feel with 2024?
I think there was a lot of firsts, a lot of new things happening. It's technically my first on-the-table check. Before that, I was just kind of washing windows, flipping couches, getting paid all in cash.
Three escrows to close the year out.
Yeah. I think it was a successful year, but I think there was definitely rooms where I could have done better, just room for improvement in general.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing. I'm very proud of you. I didn't close my first deal, I think, for like 6 months after I got my license. And for you to accomplish not only one, but, you know, 2 more. And, you know, you're following up with leads. You're learning what it takes to be an agent still, but you've already proven that you could close deals, right? So all it is building that experience, building up that knowledge, and then you'll be on the other side of fear too, right? Like, hey, I could walk you through this process. I could guide you over here, or I could put you in a position. I could set you up for success, right? And you have yet to catch a wave because most of the people in your network or in your sphere aren't thinking about. They're not as clear-headed even as you are, right? Like we're talking about thinking about buying a house. When I was 19, I didn't know how to take a shower correctly. I don't think, right? Like, I didn't know how to wash a car. Like, you know what I mean?
You started, you know. Okay, it's a corny joke, but like, do you wash your face? Do you dry your face after you dried everything else? And my thought is that the towel forgets. So like as soon as you dry down there and you put it up to your face, it's okay, man. The towel forgets.
No, but honestly, like you're such a level-headed person where you're at a place that I wish I was at in my life. I'm 20 years ahead of you. It's an insane thing, and I'd say I'm very proud of where you're at, and you just have to keep grinding at it. You're gonna be great at it. And I told you this before many times. No matter what you do at this age, you can't fail. Even failing is winning, right? Like you gotta fail, go fall off a cliff or something and break an arm, go ride a quad and break an arm. Fail.
But you know what?
It's only gonna help you gain some experience, right?
Really
So
is, yeah.
it's gonna mold you into the Carlos that we'll know 20 years from now. And you're gonna be like, God damn, I was such a young kid. Like why didn't I take your advice, right? Like, just go fall off.
But you know
a
what's
bunch of
crazy, dude, is like you think about where we are right now, perspective, like technology, social media, like you have so much information to gather, you know, and you have so much opportunity. We all do, right? I mean, if you look at it, no matter how you look at it, we all have opportunity, and every person, family, circumstance, situation is an opportunity. It's just a matter of having that perspective, keeping that, because you can look at the negative. Oh, this didn't work out my favor. I'm just gonna go cry in my car. I've done that a couple times. It's not fun. But you know what? You figured out that, hey, this is just part of the process. Let's find out an opportunity from there. But being at 19 freaking years old, dude, like
with no responsibilities.
You can do that every day, man. You can go and cry in your car every day. You can go and learn and fail, but it's just only stacking. It's compounding your not your losses, your lessons with your wins, and then you combine that with everybody that's here who's here to just feed you and just help you grow. Just means that, like, literally, I mean, you're already at the roof based on your height, but you have so much more room to grow, right?
You have crazy potential.
So just keep going, man.
And make some videos for us.
Yeah,
I want to see the videos.
That's what I was gonna say. That was the one thing that I haven't seen lately, and I was like, "What happened? This guy block his stuff from me, or what's going on?" I know.
Please make some videos.
Yeah. When you first started, you came in
hot,
super hot.
Came in hot. That's a Boston accent with hot. But you gotta get back into that, dude, because
we all do. I think we all. I maybe we gotta make a new challenge. I know we talked about this before, but we need to make a challenge, a social media challenge, because I need to do it too. Javi's great at it. He's like a freaking
young
I learned from this guy right here.
Steven Spielberg. I was gonna say Stephen Hawking, but that's like
Steven Seagal.
I was gonna say no. What's the other movie? He's a guy. Leonardo DiCaprio only makes movies with him.
Oh, damn! He made the Terminator too.
Michael Bay.
No,
I think that was Michael Bay.
James. Blow some more shit up in my video.
What's his fucking name?
But yeah, we gotta do it, man. We gotta get back to, and I think it doesn't have to be forced, right? Let it come to you, but we gotta put it out, right? Whatever it is that you're doing, or maybe even just like a nice sunset video, Carlos walking down the street. You don't even have to talk in it. Like, ease yourself back into it.
Yeah.
Maybe some like some B-roll behind the scenes. Like, you
take this time now to just brainstorm, and then January 1, drop it, man.
You got a whole day.
A whole day, bro.
You got a whole day tomorrow. Go tomorrow. Don't post any videos. Go tomorrow.
Brainstorm. I know you got some drafts in there.
And we're all here to help you too. Like, look, you have Andre, Javi, and I'm not very good at it, but I'll do anything. You throw me in.
You will. You'll jump into the
I'll cook something up. I'll see. Maybe not for January 1st, but
there you go. There you go, man.
First week of January post. I'm gonna post a video. Carlos, you do, even if it's like just some like B-roll of you walking into the office. Like, dude, you're here again. Jeez. You're gonna make people.
I'm already seeing all the hearts.
It's like those coming soon. like a trailer.
Yeah.
When you're ready for a movie to come out, it's so anticipated. They don't even drop what the movie's about. It's just like someone walking, and then like
Yeah.
coming
Coming soon.
to theaters near you. Carlos will be back on camera.
Yeah.
I think the people are waiting for it. You gotta drop it, bro. Coming soon. But it goes for all of us. You're really good at video, and I don't know what happened to you.
I just. You know,
So is Russell. Russell is like the most.
that guy's got like 5 kids.
He has 1 kid. We have a combined by 6 kids.
Dude, it's crazy.
Yeah, no, but Russell has like the most videos that went viral.
Yeah.
He has a couple.
You know, that is the reason why it's beautiful to have melanin in your body.
Russell's very talented with his videos too. I don't know what he does.
He can sing, he can dance. I mean, the guy does it all. And he speaks French.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck? Excuse my language.
Excuse your French.
Excuse my French.
But yeah, proud of you guys. Next year will be a better year in terms of numbers wise. I really feel the market's gonna come back. We're gonna have a lot of buyers out. So be prepared for that. Talking about that, going into our goals for next year. Anybody want to say theirs? One of them?
I'll just say one. Service my clients, service friends and family, and just most importantly, I think I'm just gonna keep it back to basics. But that's always putting my family and friends and clients' needs ahead of my own.
Building on your relationships.
Building on the relationship.
I've got 2 exams left before I take the broker's test.
Nice.
I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna get it, and then we'll see what else happens.
Nice.
Yeah.
Carlos?
My goals?
You had one that you shared earlier.
Just become more disciplined. Just become more disciplined in general, rather than just kind of working on like spurts of motivation. Just become like a consistent pour of water, rather than just like a if you're seeing that visually.
Nice. Mine is big energy, bringing the big energy, and taking the risks. I think this year is going to be a year of taking more risks, and the reason I say that is because every time in the past I've taken a big risk, it's tended to pay off, right? And I think in any case, if it doesn't pay off, it pays off in terms of growth, right? Education, knowledge. So I'm going to take more risks, be more risk adverse, and really put myself out there. I also want to be the biggest positive energy when I walk in the room. So again, I don't know how to be that. I've never been that person, I don't think. But
Yeah.
I want to be.
When you grow your hair out, you're dude.
I want to have
I'll
the
be 2 tails.
more fluff going,
There you
and
go.
I just want to bring the energy. I want to be that person that everybody wants to be around, and I feel like I kind of lost that this year. I want to be more positive, be more help you guys, promote everybody out there, everybody that's watching this. I want the best for everybody, and I really want that to be known and shown. So those are my goals for the year. I'm excited. Anybody have anything else?
2020 thrive, baby.
2020
We'll
thrive.
see you next year.
I like that. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We're gonna bring some fire this year. Our guests lineup. We're creating that. So if you want to be a guest, reach out to us. We're looking for small business owners, local community members. Drop a comment if you want a free TV. You might just get one if you leave us a comment.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of viewers right now, so the first couple of people that surprise us, we might just surprise them back.
Let's send a 32-inch your way.
32. 32 is like a baby TV, bro. You're gonna get a 50-inch at least.
It's not small.
Hey, surprise us, and you might get surprised back. Hope everybody has a great new year, 2025, 2020 thrive, right?
That's right, baby.
Until next week,
Stay connected.
connected.